My family is way too gluttonous to sacrifice flavor for health. But every once in a while, someone's vegetarian or gluten-free boyfriend comes to dinner. So I went to Alison 18 to find out how to use tofu to replace ingredients that actually taste good, just in case such an occasion arises. I was skeptical. Alison made a tofu pudding with a ginger crumble that used tofu instead of butter. This seemed like a crazy idea, as butter is delicious. Hey!
Nice
Brad,
to meet you.
Brad,
Nice to meet you, Brad.
Sarah is our pastry chef at Alison 18, and I enlisted her help on this. Sarah put together a holiday pudding using tofu instead of cream.
Alison explained that in addition to being food allergy friendly, replacing cream with tofu would save hundreds of calories. But could a gelatinous cube of bean curd be turned into a delicious dessert?
Big, important to know, lactose free, right? 45 calories as opposed to like 350 calories from the get-go. Big time, smaller hips, really good, really tasty, lighter. And on top, there's a crumble, like a cookie crumble, and instead of using butter, we're using tofu. You really want to learn how to make tofu pudding?
Yeah, well, now I do, yes.
All right, so Sarah, do you want to do your crumble first or the pudding first?
Let's do the crumble. I made a beautiful ginger snap crumble with tofu instead of butter. So we're going to start out with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of light brown sugar. So this is all of our spices for the ginger snap crumble. It's cinnamon, about half teaspoon of ground ginger, half teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg, and clove. Okay, so that goes in, and 2/3 cup of molasses, a teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1 cup of the silken tofu. Just mix this up, and it's gonna form this beautiful batter. Just spread it. So we're gonna pop this in a 325-degree oven for about 15 minutes.
Right,
Oh, wait, the baked
Give me a
pieces.
crunchy.
Yeah, there you go. Not bad.
It's good.
Delicious, right?
The ginger crumble was actually quite tasty, but the real test had yet to come.
So for the pudding itself, it's gonna be 3 egg yolks, 1/2 cup of maple syrup. Allison, would you mind opening that box of tofu for me?
Yes, I'm so excited. These are the coolest packages, and they're aseptic. There is absolutely no bacteria that can form in these. The tofu is actually made in these packages. It's fermented, sealed, no air. It's got a 1-year shelf life.
Tofu, 1 teaspoon each of ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. And then we're gonna put in a 1/4 cup of tapioca starch, just to help thicken it.
So this is like mostly tofu, basically.
It is. That's why it's
All right,
so delicious.
This is the tricky one.
That's why it's so delicious. All right, you wanna flip it on for me? All right. All right. Delicious, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Better.
yeah.
Good call, Allison.
Right?
Yeah.
It turns out dumping more molasses into the mix did the trick.
All
Chef
right.
knows best.
So then at the restaurant, we serve it in these little jars.
Next, Alison made a caprese salad by replacing fresh mozzarella cheese with tofu. A vegan's dream. My bad dream. Alison chopped up organic tomatoes, fresh basil, and tofu, and smothered it in olive oil and balsamic vinegar. The result was incredibly impressive. It was actually good. I kinda liked this tofu. Well, at least when you smothered in a mix of fresh, high-quality ingredients. At the end of the day, my preconceptions about tofu had changed. The taste and texture are so adaptable that with the right recipe, it turns out tofu can actually make a range of really enjoyable dishes.